Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Olumide Odejide. I'm standing in for Victor, and this is Hangouts on YouTube, Google's Hangouts on YouTube for channels. And the topic we'll be discussing today is mainly on our independence, Nigeria independence as a country since 1960 up to date. So with me to discuss on this Hangouts, I have Victor Bamishai. He's calling from Ukraine. Hello, Victor.
Hello, Olumide.
All right, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, Bamishai Victor. I'm a political analyst and currently a final year medical student in the Ukraine.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had a little bit of issues with my audio there. So I was saying Nigeria at 56. I would ask you, Victor, how far so far?
So far, so good. Now, what we need to qualify is the good. And probably could we have been better? And when will we get to start functioning at our best? So I would say so far, so good.
Okay, so far so good. You talked about qualifying the good. So how do you qualify the good in terms of our economy? Let's start from there.
Yes. In terms of our economy, if we classify or qualify the good, one would want to use good in the sense of optimism, trying to see or qualify the glass as half full instead of half empty. Our past has not been favorable, and it's catching up with us. And if we don't change the way we do things, we would not get any better. You know, someone said it is stupidity, and I would call it folly to keep doing things the same way and expecting the same result. For our economy, I think the truth is largely before up until now we've run an extractive economy, an economy that takes from the people but never gives back, an economy that only feeds the opportuned few, an economy that is being run by the cabal, an economy that the common man gains nothing from, an economy that is so abundant in resources but never translates to the welfare of the common citizen. So this has been an extractive economy thus far, and the only hope is that the present government will change things. And yes, it will be difficult for some time, but it's a price we must pay for the years of redundancy, so that the coming generation will not look back at this one and cause it. So I think that is what we've been suffering from. The truth be told, this economy has been in recession for years. But the difference, what didn't make it sure, is that we had so much that we're selling, and there was no accountability. So there was liquidity, and that liquidity was false, because the moment we could not sell and we're not getting money again, everything collapsed. The moment the government implemented TSA, Treasury Single Account, banks no longer have money. So it means they've been running before now on government money, and many times unremitted ones. I'm sure you heard about the 9 banks that were sanctioned some months ago for unremittance. Now we are in a season where people now are being questioned, where people are being made to account for something. Now, imagine how it has been in the years of impunity that was before now. So I think until we can move from extractive to inclusive to inclusive economy, nothing will get better for the common man.
I would say that's a very thoughtful opinion there. Sonny Curie has rejoined the chat. Hello, Sonny. Can you hear us now? Hello, Sonny. I'm not sure Sonny can hear us still. Okay, Sonny. Now, I would want us to go. Okay. Sonny Curie just sent us a message. We'll get back to that later. So I would want us to go in terms of security. I would say from 1960 to date, Nigeria has gone through a lot. So what would you say in terms of our security? How far have we come?
In terms of security, I wasn't born in those days, but from what history reveals, one would say at a point in time, Nigeria was regarded to have the good force. I mean, to have a very standard force, at least within Africa. But in the recent years, I'm sure you know what happened. Boko Haram took a part of Nigeria. But basically, I think the problem of security, the underlying factor, the substratum of our problem with security is the fact that there is no national reconciliation. The truth is, we have not come together, each tribe, to agree and accept that we are Nigerians. And until we do that, we will keep moving around that mountain of battling security. So as it is now, we can be better with security, and security in itself comes from from a good economy. It functions on the background of an economy that is inclusive. When the average Nigerian knows that I can get the empowerment to do what I want to do, I mean, to pursue my dream. It is in the absence of dreams that people resort to being miscreants, and they become security. Then they become a threat to the security. So I think so far so good. We are just recuperating, and the truth be told, one must hail the spirit of the Nigerian armed forces, who have done so well to take our country back, to take back the territories that were taken from the that were taken by the Boko Haram. And I hope in time soon they would be able to bring back our girls.
Okay, Victor, let me quickly break this in. Still talking about security, there have been calls for state police, municipal police, community police. What is your take on that?
Yes, in an ideal society, state police should be called for. But the truth is, Nigeria is far from an ideal society. Now, the fears for those who oppose state police is that knowing that most of these governors, they run a despotic regime. Many of them are self-centered and self-serving. Won't there be the risk? Are we not putting ourselves under risk that somebody who is too power drunk may be in control of the police? So the point now is about state police. We need to talk about the value system and to reorientate ourselves, because until that is done, state police is a very dangerous tool that can be abused. But in an ideal society, we should have state police.
Okay, thank you very much. I would want us to move a little bit ahead, talk about health. I'm sure it's one of the ways where Nigeria is seriously losing money to foreign countries. So how far do you think we have come regarding health?
Wow, we are so backward comes to health. I won't lie to you. I am opportune to be in the medical field, and when we hear about the rates, I mean when we get the values that comes from Nigeria, you see that most of it are in the negative. The maternal mortality rate is high. Life expectancy in Nigeria is very low. Infant mortality is high. You know this. Come on, come on. It pushes me to tears when I look at the health sector in Nigeria. And the truth is it that we don't know what to do? We do. We know what to do. I'll tell you what is wrong. What is wrong is that there are people in power who are too self-serving to do what they know that they should do. Who they serve, who are too ignorant to ask for what they know or for what should be done. They don't even know it. You know, let's look at, for example, security votes of a governor sometimes run into billions. And these billions can provide at least machines that are needed in the hospitals. They can build very good diagnostic centers, just security votes that these governors are doing nothing with. And when diagnostic centers are on ground, then you solved 50%. Or let me use the word, let's bring it low. Let's say you solve 35% of the health issues. I mean, one that is accessible to the public. Then build community health centers. Then you've brought the hospital, I mean, to the people. Then we can now talk about how, we can now talk about the fact that we've dealt with primary health. At least little simple diagnosis can be made, and I'm telling you, 70% of lives that are lost in Nigeria are due to diseases that can be easily treated. Something as small as diabetes, something as small as malaria, typhoid, very simple things. So in terms of health, we still have a very long way to go. Do we know what to do as Nigerians? Yes, we do. Why are we not doing it? Now that is the question we need to ask.
That's a very serious question there, $1 million question, like they will say. Okay, you made mention of the masses asking the right questions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that brings me to the education sector. Is it that the masses do not know what to ask? They are not, educated enough, or what do you say?
Now that's tricky. The truth is, education is key. It's a policy that we must demand. At least Nigeria at least has a literacy rate of at least 35%. At least 35%. Now, if this 35% we shun elitism and ask for the opportunity they have to be given to those who don't have, then we would have gone a very long way. But even stepping outside of that, because I still believe that we have so many people who are educated but illiterate. I mean, they went through the formal school but don't know anything. I mean, when I say anything, I mean outside of the confines of what they have studied. You know, somebody who studied English knows nothing about politics. And I believe that the most illiterate man is the politically uneducated man, because he does not know that politics decides virtually every parameter of the society. So I think that if we must get education right, then those of us who have had the opportunity to be educated must advocate for those who don't yet have it. And those who don't have it too must refuse to be made pawns in the hands of this political, let me use the word of Patrick Obaye Igi Agas. They must refuse to be used as pawns, because I am telling you, by the time you ask them to demand accountability from who is their leader, they will be the ones to be saying, then ethnic bias comes into play. So largely, education is low in Nigeria, and I think it's we who are opportune must advocate, and those who do not have that opportunity must join us in advocating without ethnic bias, without any religious bigotry, because education is key.
So thank you very much, Victor. Now, in moving forward, generally, how do you see us moving forward as a country? How do you see us moving forward from now?
Yes, let me use this line from our national anthem. It says, the labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. And I, for one, I think that we've sung that too much, that we are not even producing present heroes. And, the future heroes then have no model. So I think that we have a hope if we will stand up now and do what we need to do. If citizens will begin to demand for accountability, if citizens will begin to demand for right governance, if citizens will change their own mindset, if citizens will know that the country belongs to them, if citizens would keep the community clean, if citizens will, I was in Nigeria this summer, and I was walking across the street, and I saw how flood had affected that street. Now, one thing I know is probably the government did not build drainage. But if every landlord will build let me use the word gutter in the front of their house, and it goes like that, you will find out that that whole street would have effective drainage. Now, it means the bulk many times rests on the citizens, and we must be we must be ready to take responsibility where responsibility is ours. It is our responsibility to pay tax. It's our responsibility to demand how our tax is being spent. We must take responsibility. We must change what is the bulk of our mentality. I am telling you the truth. I am telling you the truth. So when we do that, we can now start building good institutions. When we build good institutions, good governance wouldn't be a problem. I tell you, in America, we talk about good institutions, we talk about good governance, but the truth is that it is part of an average man to be selfish. And if they had the opportunity to be as corrupt as the ones in Nigeria, they would be corrupt. I'm telling you the truth. So what we need to do is to change our mentality, as a people, and build good institutions through our mentality. Because I was in Nigeria, and I can tell you that the corruption is not just it's not just at the level of the political class. Even the civil service, I think I can say the civil service is even more corrupt than the political class. Now you see, the moral fabric of the national moral fabric is corrupt, and we need to change that. And to change that, we need a reorientation as a people. So if we can do that, there is a very huge potential right in front of us.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for that contribution. But before I let you go, I would want us to talk about governance as well.
Yes.
Successive governance, both the military and the political administrations we've had. How far have we evolved, and what lessons do you think we have learned, or we are still yet to learn?
Yes, when it comes to governance, we are getting better with that. At least 2015 election shows us that incumbency can be challenged in Nigeria. And looking forward to 2019, I believe the political gladiators have learned a lesson. And but more from governance, I believe, using Nigeria as a case study, I read a quote on Twitter this week, and I want to use it. The person said, "We won the battle, by voting in the executive, but lost the war by voting in the legislators. So I think there was so much focus on presidency that people don't even from the gubernatorial. They don't even demand good governance from the legislature. They don't even demand good governance from the judiciary. And all of this it's what we need to tackle, look into, and demand governance from every level, every strata. We must demand governance. And when we can do that, we can be sure not just evolve to where we need to be, but even our economy will respond to that stimuli.
Thank you very much, Victor Bamashai, calling from Ukraine. It's unfortunate we were not able to have Sonny Kiri to also contribute as well. Hello, thank you, viewers. I would say that will be about it for today.
Thank you so much.